Ah, the beauty of summer. The perfect weather to stay inside and play some... Why is it red?! My other 3DS games aren't like this. Like, look. Oh my god. The infection's begun to spread. I'm going to come clean. I have to admit to a crime. Don't tell anyone, but I used to throw out the boxes for my handheld games because they had a carrying case. I know. And the worst part is, all the 3DS games I still have the boxes for are starting to get acne! Let's talk about game console colors. Nintendo's always been associated with the color red, with their logo being red ever since the NES, and red being a massive element of the SNES's box art template, and over in Japan, the Famicom was the Clifford of consoles. Despite all that, at least in the West, the red branding was never as in-your-face as Xbox's gross swamp green, or even PlayStation's blue, at least until the Nintendo Switch, which went all in on the red. Speaking of the PlayStation's blue, the blue branding wasn't particularly significant or even something that existed on the original PlayStation, and maybe that's because Sony, unlike Nintendo's Mario or even Microsoft's Master Chief, didn't really have an iconic mascot with a defining color, instead having a ton of variety with stuff like Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro. But there was one blue console. That's right. I'm talking about the Sega Genesis. Maybe just because Sonic was always the blue representative in console gaming, Sega's logo and company image was always associated, at least to me, with the color blue, even if it wasn't as much as Nintendo's red or even Xbox's green. But let me ask you this. When did Sega leave the console race? That's right, 2001. Now when did the PS2 release with its blue branding? 2000. Sony and Sega had a bitter war for the color blue, but in the end, only one console manufacturer could survive. Fast forward back to the present, but not like all the way back to the present, to like 2017. The Nintendo Switch just launched. Its branding is all red, completely in your face, just pure red. Nintendo 3DS, meanwhile, was largely white in its branding, a color that doesn't really contrast with the other major consoles being primary colors, which sort of represents the 3DS being the sole real player in the handheld market. Nintendo then changes the 3DS's branding to be more in line with the Switch, even changing the orientation of the Nintendo logo on the spine. But for an all-in-one entertainment station capable of running games from all the major consoles, like a gaming PC, what would the right color be? Yeah, you knew where this was going. It's RGB. Now, a lot of the time, console color really doesn't matter that much, but it's my dislike for Xbox Green that's kind of kept me as a PlayStation sort of guy, at least between those two. Even then, there's this sort of poetic beauty, the odd symbolism you can find in console colors. So, overall, I think the lesson we learned here today is that I really need to stop reading into this kind of thing.